am. Huzzah! Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Welcome to BBC Spews Live. It's the 7th of February, nearly Valentine's Day. Shit, I haven't got a card sorted either. Make sure you go and get one if you're fixed up. If you're not, doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter if you're plums. Pull yourself off holiday instead. I mean, there's worse ways to spend a weekend. Spend it on lubricant. Fling yourself round your living room all weekend. Love that. Win. It's a win either way, that, innit? Can't ruin that. Chicago Town Pizza, 2 boxes of Super Kings, and fapping yourself senseless all weekend. To be frank, that sounds much better than married life, doesn't it? You know what I was going to do today? I was trying to get shut of my Telegraph subscription because they haven't covered the diddler gangs. They haven't talked about Rupert Law's inquiry. But I can't find out a way to get rid of it. It's like they purposely make it rock hard to get shut of you. I feel like they're going to make me ring them. And like, because there's nowhere on here it says stop paying for my account. Like, I've clicked manage your details, nothing. There's no button that just says I want to stop this now. That makes you, they make you ring them. Look, wankers. Anyway, we'll do that later. I was gonna write a lengthy piece slagging them off, or better still, phone them. It'll make me laugh if I phone them because if they ring them, if I ring them and they talk to some brain dead split ass, and she's like, "Oh, what are you getting rid of your Telegraph subscription for?" I'll be like, "I've got a question for you. Why are you still working at the Telegraph? If you have a modicum of civic responsibility and you work at the Telegraph, you've put your chit in and you've left, haven't you? Because all week we've been getting harangued by, mercilessly on social media, by everyone outraged at what's gone on. And the mainstream media's not talking about it. Rupert Law has had these lasses up there telling them, oh yeah, they had a house they used to call the Fun House. And me and these other 4 children used to go there. And Puma trackies, thousands of them from all around the UK, used to come down. And she was going, oh, and he was filling me in, my boyfriend, saying, make sure you're ready for action tonight. I've got family coming up from Birmingham, right? If you're in Bradalabad, this is mental, this. Again, I won't rant about it too much because you lot all know. If you watch YouTube politics, you all know. But it's still, I'm fuming. Like, the New Culture Forum was boiling my pie. In fact, shall I just show you that? I'll show you that before I go into a mad rant. The New Culture Forum, within 50 seconds of watching it, my piss was boiling in the bag. I was like, toot, toot, like Bluto when Popeye pisses him off or something. Steam coming out my ears. I was unbelievable. A man shouldn't have a rage boner at 6:05 in the morning, but that's what I was doing. I was like, still asleep. Turn my computer on. What's this? Click. 2 seconds later, ready for action. It was unbelievable. I wish my missus was in the mood at 6:06. She'd have got a Porsche. She'd have got, finally, I wouldn't have been thumbing it in for a change like on a Friday night. I'd have been solid as a rock for 12 hours. I was fuming. Where is it? Let me show you it. The first, I don't have to show you the whole video. Here it is. I'll just show you the first 50 seconds. And I was like, so well done to them. Put it here, look, well done. So that's what I'm giving my money to now. I'm going to bin my Telegraph subscription, give it the New Culture Forum. Because I've never, ever watched a video that made me this angry that fast. So look at this. In fact, we'll click on the page because they'll get an extra hit. There we go. Look at this here. First, share this tab instead. There we go. We'll only do 50 seconds. It's unbelievable.
Britain's welfare state, once a quiet testament to the decency of the British people, has been turned into a feeding trough for the entire world. 48% of London's precious social housing stock is headed by someone born overseas, often from third world countries such as Somalia and Bangladesh. Immigrants from non-European countries like Pakistan and Syria pay next to nothing in terms of income tax or national insurance contributions. We have even seen suspected jihadists on the terror watch list, no less, and returning ISIS militants prioritized the taxpayer-funded homes in order to smooth the process of so-called reintegration. Many foreign nationals now act as affected parasites on the very system that we, the British people, built through generations of labour and sacrifice. Countless foreign nationals draw daily from a fund that neither they nor their forebears ever paid into, while the hard-working British taxpayer, the true creator of, and indeed rightful heir to that fund, is forced by treacherous do-gooders like Rachel Reeves to watch his own inheritance poured down the drain.
There you go. 60 seconds, exactly that. I was like, boop, boop. It was unbelievable. Like, if I lived in a semi across the road from the Houses of Parliament and I had an automatic rifle, it's a good job I don't, because I would have went mental. I'd have been like John Matrix on Commando, like that. I'm ready for action. Like, honestly. So that's amazing, that. This is the proof the pen is mightier than the sword. That video probably did more damage to our government than any, bloke throwing a rock, throwing an egg at John Prescott getting punched. It's unbelievable, isn't it? By 50 seconds, the reason I said 50 seconds was because that was when I got enraged. If you look at the timings here, you can't see it's a bit small. 45.
Countless foreign nationals draw daily from a fund that neither they nor their forebears.
When it gets to that bit, I was like, brr, brr, like mental case, because the juxtapose it, there's all these blokes in miners' hats and that who grafted for centuries to make our country what it was, first world. Because it takes loads of effort to make a country into a first world country. It's why they go, the developing world. It's been knackered my entire life. When they were saying, it's developing in 1980, it's still shagged now. So that's how much effort it takes. It took centuries to get England to the paradise that it almost was by 1990. 1990 was amazing. I keep saying, I tell my nephews, you can't tell them. They go, you and Grandad are racist. I'm like, who's telling you that? Your teacher? Who do you think's more sensible? Your granddad and your dad and me? Or some fat, pink-haired blubber fiend talking shit to you at school who you're not even related to? Who's got your best interest in heart? Your granddad, your dad and your Uncle Matty? Or some purple-haired, morbidly obese, gipping Guardian reader? You thick twat. Like, you can't tell kids, can you? And I can't whinge too much because you couldn't tell me. It's the way of the world. You spend the first 25 years of your life ignoring everything your dad tells you. And then when you get to like 35 and it's too late to do anything with it, you go, oh shit, he was right about everything. I mean, it's the same thing. You can't tell him, and you couldn't tell me. But honestly, that's what my old fella was like. Like, when I was like 18, he'd be like, oh, what you spending your Christmas bonus on? Got like 100 quid off the boss or something. And that's good of him, innit? Give me 100 quid for Christmas. He went, what are you going to spend it on? I said, I know, I'm going to pair of new trainers. It's like, you've already got trainers. Why don't you buy some stock with it? Put it in Microsoft. It'd be worth £1 million in 20 years. And I'm like, what do you know, Grandpa? What do you old squares know, man? And then I'm 35 and I go, oh shit, every pair of shoes I've ever bought's in the bin. And Microsoft stock's gone up by 1,000-fold. And I'm like, oh yeah, the old bastard was right about everything. So it's the nature of the beast. I'm not having a go at me. I'm not having a go at my nephew. I'm just saying, like, that's the way kids are. You can't tell them. Can't tell them, can you? But it is funny to me. I was like, honestly, who do you think's talking? Because he says that all the time, the youngest one. He said, oh, you and Grandad and my dad are racists. I was like, yeah, because it's sensible. Like, what do you think 1990 was like? The reason we're telling you this is because 1990 was amazing and 2026 is dog shit. and your girlfriend might get fingered on the bus by an Algerian. That never happened in 1990. I never even seen an Algerian. Anyway, don't make me rant. That's just what I was started my day off that. When I seen that, them grafters, all white, covered in shite, like everyone who I grew up with. I worked on the coke ovens in Borough when I was 18, covered head to toe in black shit, grafting. This, and then it goes to that, juxtaposed against that. Look at that, honestly.
Sacrifice. Countless foreign nationals draw daily from the fund.
All of them. On the phone playing pool. It does my head in. When I was their age, I was literally carrying metal up 14 flights of stairs in the coke ovens at British Steel, Redcar blast furnace, covered in black shit. I used to have more black shit on me than them miners there. I was covered in it. Why was I doing that? Why was I doing that? When they just give them everything. And the cherry on top is they all, well, as I was discussing earlier, they're all at it. They're all diddling. Let me just type this in. Have that, you wankers. Sorry, I'm just finishing my angry letter to the Telegraph. Anyway, so no one's covering it, and I've told them complicity in the industrial scale abuse of children. That's what they did. That's what they did. It's unbelievable. Back to the story I was telling you earlier. The whole family gets involved. I think this is the real thing that normies don't understand, is unless you've spent time with them and amongst them like I did in Afghanistan or Iraq, where you realise that culturally it is alien to the UK, you wouldn't believe. They're going to think, when I tell them, they're going to think you're lying about it because it's so alien to an Anglo. Like, listening to these testimonies. Thanks, Rafa. Obviously a sensible scouser. I'd rather have Lucy Letby as my personal care assistant than have snake oil salesman, chairman, Starmer as PM. Oh, unbelievable. Lucy Letby. Well, I've already talked about that. I'm thinking that might be bollocks now. You've got to question everything you get told by the British government. She might not have done it. But thanks for the deep sea diver. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'll get to the end of this story if it kills you and me. The testimony was unbelievable. I can't play any of it on YouTube because it's, it'll instantly bring you. But there was a dad telling them, like, the daughter was getting took to houses with other children, and she was telling, after the fact, she's told the dad, like, they were calling the relatives and saying, like, because of course they were. I know this, because they view you as lower than a rat. You're worthless to them. We're not like that, because we're born and raised in the West, where you don't live like that, where we see people as valuable, regardless of whether we don't follow their religious beliefs. Christians don't say agnostic people are worthless trash. They tell us this in their court cases. I'm preaching to the choir. You all remember me covering it years ago. They tell us that. They tell us in court, white girls like you are for people like me to use and toss away like trash. That's what they tell us. Anyway, the relatives all get involved. I've told you this loads of times. The wives drive the husbands to the houses. And this is what I'll tell normies who don't believe you. When I'm ranting at my mother-in-law or something. They don't understand how bad it is because they can't even get it through their heads. If one of you lot in the chat was a pedo, right, full-on diddler, and you'd found a girl who was in a situation where she's from a broken home, no parents, she's drugged up, you're going to go and Roger her. If you rang your brother or your best mate or your uncle or your dad or your granddad and went, all right, mate, I've lured a nipper above the kebab shop, fancy a bash, every single one of them blokes would smash your face in when they saw you, and they'd ring the police. This is widely known. This is why the gangs don't exist in our culture. Because if you were a diddler in the UK in the 80s, you had to hide it. You had to pretend it wasn't happening. If you told anyone, they'd kick lumps out of you. So these people, all of them, at least have sympathy for them. This is, again, Sam Harris did the numbers, not me. And that was his whole career. I'm not saying all of them are in on it, but I'm saying all of them have some sympathy for them, because if you're a believer in that religious doctrine, it tells you 1,000 times over the non-believers are worthless. So amongst the Puma Trackie community, vast swathes of them have been ragging nippers, but all of them have some sympathy for them, because they wouldn't last 2 seconds in any other community. If you're in a council estate like the poorest people in England, the worst thing you can be is a diddler. If you're in a poor, downtrodden council estate in England and your mates find out you've been diddling, they will hospitalise you. This lot, they go, oh, hang on. They get the phone rings. Brum, brum. Hello, Iqbal. Yes, Iqbal. We're at the council, the dingy council house that we get for free in Bradistan. Oh, yeah, nice one. What are you doing? Oh, we've got 3 children and we're all going to give them the good news. Do you fancy a blast? Oh, I can't tonight. I haven't got the car. Oh, come pick you up. In fact, no, I'll tell Gupta and she'll drive over and pick you up. You know, she doesn't mind. Who's Gupta again? Oh, yeah, you know, my sister-in-law or whatever. My sister-in-law, cousin, brother. It's unbelievable. And again, this isn't hyperbole. This is all known. I can throw up story after story after story about it. The relatives help them. The friends help them. The sisters and the wives drop them off. The brothers join in. It's ridiculously inbred. And we all know this. We all know this. So this isn't hyperbole. It's not. In fact, it's kind of boring, isn't it? Haven't we all heard this one? Boring. Should we talk about the football? Like, everyone knows this. When Baroness Varsi was talking about it, let me posit it this way. Do you think it's odd that a culture that promotes plunging into your cousin's cinnamon ring, right? Do you think a culture that promotes this would be a little bit incestuous? The clue's in the title. A little bit incestuous. If you're talking about the physical act of rogering your cousins, it's literally incestuous. Literally. Yeah, there you go. When I say the L word, I use it correctly. Right? Sparingly and correctly. That's what it is. I'm not figuratively. I was figuratively talking about it earlier. Now I'm talking about it literally. Do you think the people who literally roger their own kin would be a little bit incestuous, figuratively? When it comes to shagging other people's kids, of course they would. Of course they would. So this is unbelievable. Well done to the New Culture Forum for boiling my piss in the bladder today. Hats off to them. If you don't follow them, go and do it. If you want to watch the video for yourself, I'll put it in the chat now. Just to get you enraged for a bit. If you need something to tip you over the edge before you go mental, just check that out. So it's mental, innit? It's mental. Sasha, I can't believe that MP advocate. Oh, yeah. You all remember that, don't you? Yeah. It is a good idea to tonk your own people with the same DNA as you. It's not. It's not. It makes anything in nature go mental. I can flex my Richard Dawkins book enjoyer when I was in my 20s knowledge. Because I remember reading, like, The Blind Watchmaker, and he's talking about, like, cheetah population, as in the very, very fast four-legged one, not Tarzan's mate, right? Cheetahs are all deaf, or they have really bad hearing, and they have loads of genetic deficiencies, because when they sequenced the DNA for the cheetahs, they found out that, like, they nearly went extinct, and they were down to, like, the last 25 of them or something. And because of that, they're all mega inbred, so they're all knackered. They've got loads of genetic defects. That's why the Kennel Club, even if you're talking about something as comparatively incomplex as a pug, the reason the Kennel Club stopped them inbreeding dogs is because it makes them all go mental. And the pumas, to this day, Roger the first cousins. It's unbelievable. You couldn't make it up. That's why the Targaryens go mental in Game of Thrones. You don't have to be a geneticist to know all this stuff. You know this when you're 12 and your teacher says, oh, yeah, that's why Louis the 16th was completely tonto, because they all used to shag each other. No, it was Philip, wasn't it? Who was the proper inbred simpleton from Spain? Was it Philip II? Who, like, you look at pictures of him, he's got like a wonky face, because they're all inbred. Like, this is what people know. And, these lunatics still do it in 2026. You couldn't make it up, could you? God, I hate the Telegraph. I'm flicking through it. Why did I ever give them my money? I think it was for occasional content that I was making. Piers Morgan interview. Piers Morgan. Who wants to talk to that fat oxygen thief? Honestly, I'd rather have a long, in-depth conversation with, I don't know, it'd be really boring. Michael Owen, Gary Lineker. Although I would like to get close to Mr. Lineker. If only so I could stick the loaf on him when he bored the tits off me. So I'm not going to rant about this all day. I'm preaching to the converted. Preaching to the converted? Yes. And preaching to the choir. You all know all this. There's no point in me going on about it. So rest assured I am outraged. Rage boner beyond all compare. But I feel like there's no point in me boring you for another half hour with it, because you all know the stories. It's endemic. There's millions and millions of them that are complicit. The wives and the sisters and their in-laws are complicit. They drive them round. Tens of thousands of people need retroactively jailing for it. Honestly. Tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands of diddlers want retroactively jailing for it. And then tens of thousands of senior judges, lawyers, coppers, MPs, House of Lords. Literally, we'd have to build new jails. Or put them in the salt mines. I mean, that's what Starmer wants to do. So if it's good enough for him, good enough for us. Oh, yeah, and then deport. Again, I don't care at this point. You know the excuse that they love to keep them in here? You know it's a lie, an excuse. When we say deport them, they go, no. They have to pay their debt to society first. Putting them in a cushy English prison isn't punishment. So I don't care about repaying the debts to society. If they haven't done something bad enough where we can reenact capital punishment and fire up old Sparky, if they've merely stuck the hand down a young lass's knickers on the back of the bus, right? Instant deportation, ring of steel around the UK, shoot the boats if they try and come back, mind the channel. Like, we need proper, and as I've always told you, everyone's right wing on immigration. The thick Geordies and Scousers, the red wall up north, all the thick northerners who always vote Labour, even they're right wing on crime and punishment. You meet brain dead Scousers and Geordies who voted Labour for the last 30 years, but they were never left wing on crime. Were they? Go and talk to a thick as shit miner from Newcastle. Well, I voted Labour for 30 years because me mother and father did like. Oh yeah, do you think we should send pedos on a course to Butlins for 3 weeks and then just release them into the community? Give them a job in a primary school? no, I think you should cave the heat in with a brick, like. That's how that conversation will go. So even the lefties aren't lefties in England. You were talking about capital punishment for kiddie fiddlers and deportations. Everyone would be on board with it. It'd have like 80% approval ratings. John doesn't like my Geordie accent. That's pretty good. I'm all right in a Geordie accent, aren't I? All right, I'll do a jock one. The jocks are the same. SNP. Died in the wool SNP voters who blame the English for everything. They poison the water. They don't poison the water, you brain dead frisp. But even these guys would be like, okay, cave his heat in with a brick. They don't. Nobody on the left is pro-diddler, the old left. The only people that are pro-diddler is this woke shit that's new. Tony Benn wasn't pro-diddler, was he? I mean, this isn't rocket science. Peter Shaw, he was good mates with Cloughie, him. He seems like a good guy. The old lefties were all right. None of them were left-wing when it comes to crime and punishment. None of them would be like, oh, send the diddlers on a course. Like Harriet Harman. Oh, yes, well, the 10-year-old might like wanking the grandad off. They won't, Harriet, you stupid slut. It's unbelievable. Sorry, ranting. The last time I saw anyone lie as much as Stam was when Epstein told Hillary he was well hung. Oh, no one beats Starmer. In fact, I've got a clip for that. We'll do that now, shall we? Before I forget, I wanted to talk about this one because this is funny. Let me read the rest of these. The family support them in court. That's how. Oh yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable. This is what I mean. I don't want to keep repeating myself. You all know it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. The judge will be like, and then you ragged a 10-year-old, and then you burnt an 11-year-old with an iron bar, and then you beat up a child, a 9-year-old, and then, and the court's packed with the wives, the sisters, the cousins, the brothers, the uncles, the granddads. Oh, God, Iqbal is a good man. No, he isn't. He's just been jumping the bones of a 10-year-old. And not only would I deport him, if we were in charge, I'd have a camera hidden in the courtroom. And every one of them that clapped him, I'd have the ice waiting outside for him. And every one of them that turned up to support a diddler, I'd have them on the boat as well. I'd be like, oh, did you get your passport 11 years ago, did you? We're going to retroactively put that law back to like 1985. and if you got your passport after that, it's no protection. It's not a talisman. It's a piece of paper. When we're in charge, piece of paper's worthless. You can do what you want with a piece of paper. I'll just be like, oh, you're pro-kiddie fiddler, are you? Big red stamp, do one. And I'll be like, right, you've got 24 hours. And if you're still here, I'll have some big hairy-ass bootnecks drag you to a cell and put you up for whatever, contempt of court. No, in fact, we get them on real charges. The promotion and assistance of a crime, which is diddling. What used to be a crime might not be a crime in Bangladesh, but it's a crime in England, son. Easy. African woman driving a bush. Well, where did she get a driving licence from, first of all? If she's from Timbuktu, where'd she get a driving licence from? Out the back of a box of Frosties? I mean, unbelievable. Who give her a job? I can't believe the ones. Did any, again, I know someone did, because some of you lot watch more YouTube than me. Did you ever see the video of the prop? That's even better, deportation by catapult. Yeah, just straight into the castle wall. Set the catapult up and pretend you're aiming for the sea, but just crank it down a few notches. It's just straight into the brick wall that's like 2 foot in front of the gatty. Did any of you see the video of the African woman who was looking after, there's an understatement, looking after the kid, and the kid pukes, and she loses a rag, and just proper starts filling it in. It's like one. And she's like, yeah, and throws it on the floor and starts stamping on it. Like, it's unbelievable. Some of you will have seen it. It was doing the rounds on Twitter. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot believe anyone would entrust a child or a relative to people who would different tribe that don't care about you or like you. Anthony Joshua's had like a first world education. You'd think he'd be relatively civilised. But the mask slipped as soon as he lost his rag a little bit. Soon as he read about a member of his tribe, a career criminal, woman getting a gun stuck in a pregnant stomach. Soon as he heard about a member of his perceived tribe getting the good news off a marvellous public servant in the United States, he showed his ass and he went mental in public and he went, don't give them any money, don't go to the shops. Well, it's time for us to get tribal then, isn't it? Because that's unbelievable, that. That's unbelievable, that type of behaviour. To just instantly spit your dummy out because a foreign criminal you've never even met gets the good news off a marvellous public servant. And then he's honest about how he feels. Well, we should do the same then. Why is it that Anthony Joshua can go on television and spit racist hatred, but I can't, like, tell a joke? Do you know what I mean? Like, the insane disparity between what you're allowed to do beggars belief. Trumpy Bear shared a funny video from The Lion King, but because at the very, very, very end of it, probably that he didn't even see, and even though Joe Biden's a monkey, because they make Obama one as well, they try and, like, generate a week's worth of outrage about it. Like, it's a comedy video. He didn't make it. He just pressed share. It was a joke. You can't do that. But he can go on telly and fully give a race hate speech in response to a foreign criminal and say, don't give him anything, don't talk to him, don't use the shops. Yeah, hate. They go, oh, that's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. Which, right, sorry, I'll keep ranting. We'll do this, and then I want to talk about Alex Bell-End, right, because thanks for the Ayrton Senna, Louise. Cheers. I want to talk about Alex Bell-End because, honestly, I never liked Alex Bell-End. I guess, technically, I still don't. I don't know him. But I watched his chat with Liam yesterday. Well, I watched about an hour of it, and then I lost interest. But, honestly, we were harsh on him. Because he was a lovey. And he is still a bit like that, you know, he wears the flamboyant shirt and he's a little bit, ooh, hello, matron, and he thinks he's a lot funnier than he is. That's why I never liked him. I don't like his mannerisms and the way he talks. Like, you know, he used to take calls and that, and he'd be like, ooh, hello, matron, doing all that shite. Like, he's not funny and he thinks he is. And he's a bit of a lovey. So I never liked the bloke. But it does sound like, just like with Tony Romo, just like with Joey Barton, just like with so many people, if they want to lock you up, they'll find a reason to lock you up. Honestly, from listening to Alex Belfield, I was like, seriously, they could get any of us for that. That is just trumped up charges. I've done way worse, and that'll make you laugh. We'll go through some of mine as well. Because he said, like, basically I got jailed for taking the piss out of people. And he did. And they call it stalking. They go, oh yeah, trumping up the charges. Oh, you sent them 8,000 messages. Yeah, well, I bet if you add up my tweets, if you add up my tweets, I've done it. Took the piss out of people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Denise. Honestly, I'll perform the necessary mea culpas there. I don't particularly like him because I'm a northern prick, and if someone's like a bit posh and southern, I instantly have a sort of, you know, -10. Like the mannerisms and the way he was. He just reeked of BBC presenter, and he's not as funny as he thinks he is. So I was never a big fan. But that's what they do. They make it sound like he's done something bad, and then, because we're conditioned throughout our entire childhood, you go, oh, okay, I guess if he's been stalking, he's a wrong 'un then. But you listen to what he actually did, it wasn't that bad. It certainly didn't warrant prison. Worst again should have been a bollocking. we've all done what he's done. He was literally just trolling people online. And I've done shitloads of that. I'll show you some of it in just a moment. In fact, I don't want to bounce around too much. We'll do Starmer's video in a minute. I'll show you some of what I'm talking about, if only because it'll lighten the mood, right? So, they done him for stalking because he sent nasty messages to people. That's it, basically. Let's just go through, because I know I've done it. Let's just go through my Twitter feed from the last 24 hours. And someone keep tab how many messages I send that are offensive or rude to famous people. Because I bet you I've done 5. And then if you add that up over like 10 years, what I'm getting at is it'd be easy for a judge, a bent judge looking for crimes like the Spanish Inquisition to go, oh yeah, Mr. Bootneck sent 6,000 messages, he's a stalker. Oh, well, we have to send him to prison for 6 years then. In the same week, by the way, what was the big news on Monday? 70-year-old Puma trackie rogering a 12-year-old girl. Did he go to prison? Did he go to prison? I'm sure you've all seen it. Did the pensioner jump in the bones of the child in England get sent to prison? No. Yes. Thank you, Andy. But you know who did? For 5 years? Alex Belfield. So there you go. So he got proper stitched up. Anyway, let's do this because it'll make us laugh. I've insulted loads of people. Let's go to replies. Let's have a look. He's not famous. He's just an idiot. He's not famous. He's just an idiot. This was some moron saying, oh, yeah. Oh, it's official. Only thick twats vote for reform. I was like, A, thanks for doing me a favour because I always tell everyone you hate the working class. B, IQ is innate. You get to 20, your brain goes hard, you've got an IQ score. It's got nothing to do with whether or not you went to university. There's loads of thick twats go to uni. There's loads of dead clever people don't. I mean, this is known by anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together. And then look at this moron. Your sad little existence doesn't realise the USA isn't the centre of the universe. I pity you so much. You're a useless piece of genetic information. Your God would be ashamed of what trash he created. I was like, 1, I'm atheist. You just made a daft assumption because you're thick. 2, I'm handsome and wealthy. Well, maybe overdoing it both. We'll go for 8 out of 10 and comfortable because I worked in aerospace for the last decade. And then 3, lick my balls, you left-wing spastic. Messages like that are what they did Alex Belfield for. Like being rude to people. And as I keep saying, being rude isn't a crime, or it isn't to anyone who has any respect for the law or what it should be. And this is when he tried to deny that they brainwash you in university. That's the university professors and graduates by major in the US. Look at those numbers. I said, not only is it a well-known fact, you've just made yourself look thick for denying it because everybody knows it's a well-known fact. All of them are liberals. Sociology. You go to university, you get brainwashed, and you come out a plank. So that's just the way it is. Get used to it. Rafa, my childhood was ruined the day I discovered Basil Brush was... Yeah, okay, I don't even want to say the SB word. You know what they're like on here. What about the abuse Sutty suffered with Matthew? Isn't he one of the only ones who was working in children's TV who wasn't a diddler? Matthew Corbett was all right, wasn't he? I think he was. Not that I want to defend children's TV presenters. AJ's a poor man's Frank Brutal. Yeah, absolute wanker. Absolute wanker. Find your way, man. Chiefs for the incentive. The only light at the end of the tunnel is that Starmer will never be able to show his face in public ever again. He'll be less welcome than Prince Andrew at a brownie beauty pageant. Yeah, well, if it was the brownies in Islington, he would be welcome, wouldn't he? Because people like Harriet Harman, they think there's nothing wrong with pensioners rattling kids. Okay, Islington or Bradford. That's what they have in common, isn't it? Very, very posh white people and very, very illiterate goat-herding tribesmen from the third world. They have that one thing in common. They all think it's fine when old blokes roger little kids. Anyway, Anyway, I was looking for some insults, wasn't I, to try and badly make my point. Jake Richards MP. There we are. There's one. So there's an MP. This is what I'm saying. We all do Alex Belfield shit. Jake Richards MP. Great to be out in Gorton and Denton with our brilliant candidate. Shall I change this so you can actually read this stuff? Hang on. There we go. Jake Richards MP. Great to be out in Gorton and Denton with our brilliant candidate, Angelique Stoggia. Have you heard her speak? She proper sounds like a monk. Richard Davies. Yes, you have. You have. Weekends I do them. Friday, Saturday generally. Great to be out in Gorton and Denton with our brilliant candidate, Angelique Stoggia. The atmosphere at this morning's rally was electric and determined. Only Labour can beat Reform. They just lie all the time. Greens polling higher than Labour. They just lie all the time. The Conservatives lie to bleed off the Reform vote, even though they're 20 points behind them. And Labour do it with the Greens. Like, it's mad, isn't it, how the Uniparty just, like, will never tell the truth. Even if it's right in your face, and every day, all the mainstream media even is going, oh, it looks like it's a two-horse race between Reform and the Greens. Labour and the Conservatives will go on tell you with the suit on and go, oh yeah, only Labour can defeat Reform. And the Conservatives will go, only the Conservatives could beat the Greens. It's a mental thing that they all do. So what did I say to him? I don't even remember. There you go. She's about as Mancunian as Gandhi, you effing maniac. That's what I told him. So that, if they're trying to lock you up, that'll do them. They'll take a note of that. Screen cap. There you go. One harassing message to a public figure. Add that up a few hundred, and there you go. If they want to lock me up for 5.5 years whilst letting the 70-year-old kiddie diddler off with a warning, that's what they'll do. And the normies don't pay attention. So then you're done. Alex is done, isn't he? Because the normies just say, oh, look at this. Oh, stalking. Oh, 5 years. Must have been really serious. He must have been sending like used Johnnies and shit in the mail if he got 5.5 years and a full-blown kiddie fiddler doesn't get any jail time at all. He must have done some really sick stuff. Oh, okay, he's just a weirdo then. Yeah, cheers then. Forget about him. He got stitched up. That counts. That's a harassing message to a public figure. That's what they'll do you for. So we can all get jailed if they want. I maintain, and I'm pretty sure anyone who wants to follow the intent of the law and has any integrity at all, I maintain that they have all the money and all the power. The one right I have is I still have the right to rip the piss out of them. Oh, and I do love that right. I love it. I love it like an old dead relative, long past. I love it. I love taking the piss out of them. They can do you for many things. But as long as you're careful and you don't really engage the eye of Sauron like Belfield did, because he was in the mainstream media, you can basically get away with that. Because they insult us all the time. That's what I've told you. They're just calling you names. If they're just calling you November Alpha Zulu or Benito Mussolini or Adolf, they're insulting you. They're not doing anything. They're just insulting you. So I insult them. How is it any different? I'd make this case in court. Anna Soubry called the entirety of the Brexit voters fascists and November Alpha Zulus. So I called her a little fat withered crone. What's the difference? And I reckon that'd stand up in court. They are just calling us names, so I call them names. And most YouTubers don't do it. Sargon's not doing it. Landjuer's not doing it. Paz isn't doing it. I think I'm the only one. I think I've carved a niche out for puerile, juvenile, pub drunk insults. But to me, that's good enough for them. Good enough for the scum that lords it over us. They call me names. I call them names. And Anna Soubry, I mentioned the name twice, so she's getting done. Anna Soubry, withered crone husk. walnut face, Subri. She deserves it. She calls me names, I call her names. Fair dues, isn't it? Oh yeah, there it is. Anna Subri, she's a good example because she's the Uniparty, the liars. She was a conservative. She stood as a conservative because it was the Uniparty. Now all she does is cry about conservatives. So she said, getting aside the mistakes. His Sam's got integrity. Meant to be a conservative. I just said, wasn't this crone a conservative? 14 likes. There you go. Two messages. So in less than 24 hours, there's 2. I'm officially, if the government decided, stalker material. Aren't you? This is what I'm saying. Any one of us could go to jail under the police state in the UK. But would you deserve to go to jail? No. So the ginger one didn't. And I'm defending him now. Fair play. I didn't in the past. I should have done. There's another one. Look. And look, see, I don't stop doing it. Like, I'm way worse than Belfield. Oh my God, I'm like Peter Sutcliffe. Old Sutty. That's a good joke. That's a good old one, isn't it? I read it in the Viz. Fat bloke. Someone wrote it, I think it was on the letters page. His arteries are tighter and furrier than Sutty's arsehole. It's quite good, isn't it? But look, this is all I do. Take the piss out of them. So this is, if I was living in the UK, that might be what they do. Build the dossier, put it all over, leak it to the press, put it on the BBC. He's a stalker. Wouldn't it? That's what I'm saying. So Belfield got stitched up. There's nothing wrong with taking the piss out of scum. Because they take the piss out of us. You call me a November Alpha Zulu. I call you, what did I call him exactly? Albino jellyfish porridge-faced walkster. Diddle the UK in a blue tie with a red brain. So we're locking you up as soon as we win. I suggest you do one to a non-extradition country and stay there, fatty. That's a fair one, isn't it? It's a fair one. That's what I'd say to him if I was in the pub. So come at me, bro. You're allowed to use juvenile taunts. Again, why they get away with it? That's not that you're allowed to do that, Mr. White. You're allowed to do it. They can call you anything. They can call you anything. All the Puma trackies, have you noticed, they call everyone a diddler now? That's their go-to insult because they know everybody knows that they are. So they're trying to reappropriate the word. So now everyone will go, oh yeah, nonce, yeah, you is one in you. Brum, brum, hang on, I've got to take this. Yes, uncle, yes, 12-year-old, your house, 8 o'clock. This is what they like. So they can call you whatever they want. I've told you that one loads of times. They can racially abuse you in front of a copper. And the copper won't do anything about it. But if you respond back and drop the N-bomb, they'll lock you up for it. Because you're living in a police state. So like I said, you do what I do. The clever part is you don't use things that are actionable. You don't want to commit a hate crime. So, albino jellyfish porridge face, definitely not in any of the statute books. Right? You don't call Diane Abbott names about a background because the government will try and get you. So what you do is call her buffalo arse. That's not actionable, is it? You can't say, oi, fatty. Waiters should be telling you to fuck off. Like, they'd be doing you a favour, Tubbs. When you go into your local Kensington restaurant and order whatever it is you're eating, a kilo of butter and a soup spoon, fatty, the waiter should be doing you a favour and saying, oi, you're bad. Like, treat you like Zippy and just zip your trap shut. So you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do it. And what I'm getting at is I do this all the time. This is like, I've only gone through about 10 replies today. I haven't even done 24 hours. Mike Tapp, I was having a go at him. He's a proper little weasel. Who else? Anyway, this is what I do. Chris Bryant. Look at this one. Chris Bryant. Having a go at Dan Thomas. He went, don't you live in Bath? I always pronounce it with a posh accent when I'm quoting a Labour MP. Because none of them are working class anymore. But don't you live in Bath? And weren't you imposed as leader rather than elected? Oh, that's a good point, Chris. So I responded with a very mature argument. Aren't you tapping a bloke 30 years younger than you that was one of your subordinates? Pipe down, Mandelson 2.0. I bet you sleep in a giant cocoon upside down, right? Like he's a creature of nightmare from a Lovecraft book or some shit. They can't do you for that. That's what he is, a diddler. He's definitely a pervert. Like, his boyfriend's a child by comparison, and he was a subordinate. He was like a young, malleable, poor employee. And this piece of shit, soon as he could, he was conquer deep in his shit locker. These are the people who claim to be like your betters. The guy is a pervert. He's a deviant. And if there was any justice, he'd be getting locked up. So that's just the way it is. Totally fine. Northern English, our suspicions confirmed over the Epstein. Oh, it's unbelievable. So we done Alex, AJ, not Anthony Joshua, Mr. Jones. We did AJ wrong, didn't we? Turns out he was right. All the pizza stuff. There was 1,000 mentions. I heard that this morning. There was 1,000 mentions of pizzas and grape soda or some shit. Like, this is their totally not obvious way of speaking. It turns out Mr. Jones was right again. Definitely. Epstein was ahead of the curve. One ring to rule them all. It's unbelievable. Sauron then, yeah. Neil Smith's gifted a membership. Thanks for that, Neil. It's unbelievable behaviour. So this is what I'm getting at. Mr. Belfield got stitched up. We'll do one more because I'm good at mocking people. Get the creature told, right? But take this, what I'm saying. If they're building up a dossier, they've got about 40,000 messages off me if they go through my Twitter for tenure. And then that's what they do. They put it on the BBC and go, oh, look at this. 10,000 messages. Clearly a stalker, dangerous, fanatical stalker. 7 years in prison. Because you don't live in a free country. And then people, normies, go, oh my God, 7 years in prison. Must be like Gary Glitter. No, you just live in a police state. Get angry. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is what I said here. Look, Lucy Connolly, Tony Romo, and Belfield got longer sentences for being rude than these oxygen thieves get for doing that to children. You should be outraged by it. The bare minute, as far as I'm concerned, I am an exemplar of peaceable tolerance. Because after what they've done to 250,000 English children, merely calling one of them fat albino jellyfish I'm like Mother Teresa with a cock. It's ridiculous. Like I can't believe how tolerant I am. Sheilak made me tap the sign again. Look at this. Listen to this.
Whether people like it or not, the UK Army is made up, the boots on the ground, really. You're talking 86% are white working class. Yeah, that's the recruitment that they should be targeting, but they don't target that anymore. They target, they want more diversity in the army, etc. These same white working class lads don't want to fight for this country anymore because all they've seen for the last 20 years or so is government after government shipping millions upon millions of other people. Their entire ecosystem, everything that they know has completely changed. They don't feel connected. They essentially feel displaced in their own country. So why would they want to fight for it?
Sorry, in what way do they feel displaced in their own country? In your...
It's unbelievable. So that's what I said. Millennial Wars, legendary tweet. You can't talk to the left. They spend their entire time pretending they don't understand your point. I've thought about ringing James O'Brien before, but there is no point. There's no point. Because they do that. Like, it's unbelievable. I'd ring James O'Brien and go, James, 250,000 little kids rogered by foreign men. And he'd go, where are you getting that from? With this thing on one jug lug. What are you talking about? Never heard that. You do know what I'm talking about. They were motivated by the religion to target native girls. Who's there? Snack bar? What? I've never heard this. I know, it never happened. That's what Emily Maitlis did. Like, outright denial, right to your face. Maitlis did it. Look, this is why I said get the creature told, Rupert. Maitlis did. Look at Maitlis here. It's unbelievable. Listen.
Why are you doing this? Why are you just trying to talk about...
Why? Like, even asking the question, why are you doing this, it's gaslighting you. It's doing the sign. Well, why are you doing it? Why? Why would anyone accuse regulars at the snack bar from Roger children? I've never heard this before. Oh, really? No? Mystery? Did you hear about us winning the World Cup in 1966? Because I've probably been less column inches promoted to that, dedicated to that story, than there has Puma tracky kiddie fiddlers for the last 30 years. What do you mean? Why would you do that? I don't get it. So I'm saying they're all just brazen liars. Hence Rupert based, just saying you're full of shit, Emily. You're a liar. You're a toxic, craggy-faced, tits down to your kneecaps, spunk Bowser, absolute hag. Because I told you this. That's why I'm good-looking and she's an ugly bastard. Because humans are like bananas. If you do nothing but lie, you look like that. If you tell the truth, or at least purposely don't lie, it shows on your face. You don't look like a piece of shit. You don't look like bright red, jug lug, sack of coleslaw James O'Brien. It takes something out of you. This is a big religious truth, isn't it? That if you try and live a virtuous life, it's good for you. The reason you don't lie, cheat and steal isn't because you don't think you can get stuff out of doing that. It's because you know long term it's bad for you. Why do you think I sleep like a baby? Because I don't lie about kiddie fiddlers like Emily May. I bet she snatches 2 hours a night, this hag. Listen to her anyway. More gaslighting just for a laugh.
Why are you doing this? Why are you just trying to talk about Pakistani grooming gangs when there are 4 times, 8 times and 10 times as many white grooming gang suspects?
Do you not think, Emily, there's an issue with Pakistani Muslims raping working class white underage girls? Do you not think there's an issue there?
I think there is an appalling issue with grooming
are you telling
when it hits any community and any age. We only ever hear you talk about Pakistani perpetrators.
Are you telling me there's no issue?
I'm telling you that you are focusing on Pakistani grooming gangs because probably you're racist. Why are you doing that?
Really? Because probably they don't exist for anybody else. They don't exist. If you were a diddler and you rang your dad, your uncle and your granny, they wouldn't all go, okay, I will get 3 of your male relatives in the car and then granny will drive. It doesn't happen. You hag. It's unbelievable. No wonder she looks like shit. It's because she's got no soul. That's what I'm saying. The pure evil. They're willing to protect people that do the worst monstrous torture to children for their political ends. The pure evil. She's worse than Gary Glitter. Because at least the victims of Gary Glitter are the individual kids. And he hasn't got 30 cocks. How many can he get round in a month? But people like her, they're responsible. They propagate misery and torture and deprivation to hundreds of thousands of children. So, yeah, Emily, Crone, your name's on the list. Your name's on, it's getting long, but it's on there. If I have my way, by God, before I flop into my grave, I will see these creatures answer for their monstrous crimes. I pray it happens in my lifetime. The sleeping lion will eventually wake up. Yeah, look, Visegrad 24 said, one of the fastest growing migrant groups is Bangladeshis. They have more than doubled to well over 1 million. 800k in the UK, 250 in Italy, Greece, Portugal, Spain. I was like, oh yeah, they made England so much nicer. I can see why everyone's welcoming them in. Yeah, like you look around now, we've gone from 10,000 Bangladeshis to 800,000, and every single metric you can possibly judge a nation by, including diddled children, acid in little girls' faces. I mean, there's 3 that didn't happen in 1985. I can reel them off, but there's big 3. No such thing as diddler gangs. There wasn't. There was occasional diddlers, but they didn't used to drive the relatives round to join in. No such thing as organised diddler gangs driving the relatives from Bradistan to Birmalabad to Bradistan. Never used to happen. Secondly, acid in the face for knocking back a marriage proposal. Never used to happen. Didn't exist. Didn't exist. Now, get it all the time. Acid in the face. If George asked Hilda to the dance in 1960, and she said, sorry, George, I've already told Harold I'll go with him. He didn't used to go, hello, the snack bar, and melt your lips off with battery acid. Never used to happen. He used to just go, well, I'll have to go and ask Fat Tracy if she wants to go instead. Right? And third of all, no little girls were getting the piss flaps sawn at with a sharp stick. With a broken bottle. FGM didn't exist. Didn't exist in 1980. Wasn't a thing. So there's the big 3. I can see why everyone's welcoming them. Unbelievable. Little girl, nice, attractive Italian women get the face punched off by an obvious bloke. There's another one. Do you see how bad our society? It's Babylon, our society. You scroll down here and it's just Babylon. There's another one. This is what I'm saying. Stalking, definitely in it, definitely. Sajid, like all Conservative MPs from the last 25 years, knew what was happening. Let them do it. Complicit in the torture of children. I said, look at this snake. Puma trackies, diddled loads of kids. He knew about it. He helped cover it up. And now he claims to be the victim. The rich, powerful politician, all the power, all the money, all the status, all everything. And he like, yeah, 200,000 girls got tortured. But I'm the victim because I'm telling you that someone was rude to me once. I'm the victim because I'm telling you things. Well, we can all tell you things. I can tell you I've got a 14-foot cock. Doesn't make it true. So it doesn't matter what people tell you. Never matters what people tell you. Anyone can tell you anything. What matters is what they actually do. And what he did was turn a blind eye. At best, probably a lot worse. At best, he was complicit and he turned a blind eye in the endemic torture of children. That's what he did. So, if I'm the bad guy for having a pop at Puma Tracky Uncle Fester there, sorry. Oh, look, I've got a memoir out. You're having a laugh. I'm having a bubble. Yeah, there's his book, look. Crying. Puma Tracky, shut up. Said he's had me blocked for years, that road, and that's Steve Baker. Anyway, you get the point I'm making. Paul Mason, I'm always having a pop at him. Look, we'll do this last one. Paul Mason said that. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. He can't believe a single word of it. He's a louse. People are joining Labour tonight to back Keir Starmer and take part in the clean-up of British politics. Join in the fight. Starmer. So obviously Paul Mason, because he is brain dead, him. I think he's got to be top of the list for the brain dead. He's chief of the brain dead clan. What did I say to him? I said, ha, clean up by voting for Rent Boys and Mandelson. Paul, you are a comedy genius, mate. He looks like Boris. He makes Boris Johnson look like a choir boy and not one of the ones that Starmer gave that gave Starmer a notch. So again, not polite that. So I've just done 24 hours. I bet you there's 10 messages there that you could count as harassment. No, they call us names. They call me names. Call you names. Call every Brexiteer names. Call every Conservative person names. Call every patriot names. White people names. Racist abuse. Ethnic slurs. They throw the lot at you. So I reserve the right to mock Keir Starmer for possibly getting rogered by a rent boy. Yeah, I'll mock Boris Johnson because he's fat and baggy and he's got a face like a shotgun. Someone's fired a salt pellet into his face. They're all scum. I reserve the right to call them it. Right, crikey, that's over an hour. Last one we'll do. We'll finish on this because I have got a point to make. Martin Daubney, 2 Keir's greatest hits. This is just a mere smattering of his moral U-turns. Look at this. It's unbelievable.
We've had a referendum. We shouldn't have another referendum on the same issue.
Whatever the outcome, there's got to be a referendum. Remain should be an option, and the Labour Party will campaign for Remain.
We have left the EU. There's no case for going back to the EU. I oppose HS2 on cost and on merit.
Every Labour leader since then, including me, I took over in 2018, has supported HS2, and we do support it. I'm not going to rank Jeremy Corbyn. He's a colleague, he's a friend, and he's led us through some really difficult times in the Labour Party.
He was never a friend.
No, not in the sense that we were, went to visit each other or anything like that.
He's a weaselly. He's a friend. Oh, he's my friend. Oh, hang on. He's running for... No, you got me, mate. I don't even like him. Grandad,
trans
shut
rights
up.
Are human rights, and I support the right to self-identification.
We don't think that self-identification is the right way forward.
I don't think you can simply do away with any assessment.
And those assessments are appalling. And I would scrap them, just like Becky would. Scrap the assessments, scrap the sanctions, scrap universal credit.
Freedom of movement will have to end as we leave the EU.
We have to make the case for freedom of movement. And we have to make it strongly.
He's a creature, isn't he? Just a creature.
Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
So, point I'm getting at with the staggering hypocrisy of this bell end, right? To sum up, when he was in opposition, he called for people to resign at least 10 times. There was some massive ones I remember. Again, you've got a memory and you read, you pay attention, you remember it. I don't need to find you the individual stories. One of the big ones I remember was he said Priti Patel has to resign because she had a go at someone at work, like a normal boss. She was like, oh, don't be late again, knobhead. And he went, oh, she has to resign, she's a bully. He said Jacob Rees-Mogg had to resign, or he was slouching in Parliament. Who did he say wanted to resign because they didn't wear a seatbelt? Someone was driving off and they didn't have a seatbelt on. He went, oh, you got to resign. You got to resign if you're setting that bad of an example. And then him, it's like diddling, rent boys, bribes, jewellery for his wife. The list is endless. And he goes, oh, no, that's a bigger deal. And I told you lot this a week ago that he wouldn't resign. I told you this a week ago, didn't I? I said, there's no way this will do him in. More than any MP I've ever met, he is completely brazen and shameless. He won't quit. They'll fire someone to be the patsy. But he won't quit. It'll take another few more scandals. You'd have to have him nailed to a cross. You'd have to have full HD 4K video of him ramming an 8-year-old for him to quit. He's totally shameless. But he'll say, Rishi has to resign because he didn't have a seatbelt on. But we can take money off Epstein. We can appoint Mandelson when we knew he was best mates with a kiddie fiddler. We can lie constantly about everything all the time. Take jewels off a millionaire. Put my son up in his house. Bribes, backstabs, back payments, back scuttling. Yeah, back payments, bribes and back scuttling. That's what he's been involved in. But apparently that's fine. There you go. Absolute lunatic. That's a good one. Let's end with the Crichton smoke. Quote, sneaky. Right, ladies and gents, that'll do you. Hour and 14, hour and 11 minutes. You can have that for now. Thanks for all the super chats. It's Saturday night. Go and get pissed. Try to drink away your memories from the last week. And I'll remind you all again on Monday when the next diddler gang, bribery, corruption, endemic foreign kiddie fiddler, surprise sex enthusiast from Morocco. I mean, insert there. I'm sure there'll be plenty of them to cover next week. So at least try and drink yourself insensible for an evening. Forget about it all. All right. See you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Toodle pip. Cheers.